Alright guys, this is step 4. This is the final step of your assignment. For this one, we want you to create a letter, right? Just to practice some lettering. Now, if you love doing, we've been talking about graffiti, and we've also been talking a lot about the history of graffiti. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to do a box-shaped M, right, for my name. Or I could do a box-shaped O. So all of my Owens students, so Sutton and Kippis, you guys can definitely do an O or a K or whatever letter you want to do. Now, does your letter have to be perfect at this point in time? No. We are actually going to focus more on the perspective part. So I'm actually going to do an M. Keep it kind of simple for me. And again, I'm not using, if you notice, I'm not using a ruler for this time. I'm just going to use a straight edge because I want to keep it organic and fun. So I'm going to kind of do, I'm going to just kind of use this as my guide here and gonna boop. Just kind of have fun with it. Okay, and again, I'm just making an M. Right? Think about an M. Those who love making your name or writing your name in bubble letters, this is the time to kind of have fun. And, oh, maybe I want to do something, I want to like kind of like Batman style maybe, kind of like a little bit longer. There we go. And this one's got to be really long. And I'm going to cut it off here and here. Okay, so I now have just like a crazy M. And now we get to turn it into perspective. Now remember, when you do letters or you do shapes or a star or any shapes that have multiple points, each point is very important that you do to give it that effect. So I'm actually going to start, we're going to start from this one. I'm going to go again from this point to my vanishing point and create that converging line. So again, from point to point, line it up, draw your line. I'm going to do the same thing for this point down here. From point to point, create that line. Okay. I'm actually not going to do this one, but I want to do this point here. I really want to do this point here because I want to see the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do this point here for myself. And it's going to look a little weird because you're not going to really be able to see it, but I like the pop out feature that it creates. Okay, kind of make it look like it's popping out. We're going to do the same thing here from this point to this point. It should actually, might be from, actually let's do this one here. So this point to this point. So I'm going to go again from that top of the letter M, line it up and draw. Boom, I got this. All right, we got this. I'm also going to do, I'm not going to see this point. What really is important to me is actually this point here. Let me scoot this up. So this point, yeah, that's kind of important. However, this is the part that if it's dimensional, that's going to be the point that I really want to use. This is just going to show this side. So thinking three-dimensional wise, this point does not mean jack snoot. So I'm going to use this point instead. And I'm going to go ahead and put my pencil on there. Now I'm not going to go all the way to the converging line. I'm actually going to stop right here at this part. Because if I go all the way through to my converging line, you'll get to see. So I'm actually going to show you what happens when I go all the way to my converging line. And I'm going to do it very lightly. But you'll see it goes through my M. And I don't want that. So I'm actually going to erase that. And I might even erase this line here. I don't really like that converging line. Let me go ahead and erase that one too. And go ahead and show you. Let me make my M a little bit. Okay, so I have my M here. Okay, so I have my M. If you noticed, right, that's going to cause me some chaos because what am I supposed to do? Cut that off? No, we really don't see that. So I'm actually going to erase this whole converging line here, the one that I erased within the M, because I want this to be a solid wall. As much as I care about the inside, this is like, pretend that this is a wall, right? Like I'm building a house. And yeah, if I go into a hallway, I'm not going to see it through once it goes through the wall. And you'll see in just a second. So the next thing that we're going to do, just for my sake, I'm actually going to do this point, and I'm going to draw that line so I know where my M meets. So I'm going to go from this inside point again, and I'm going to do it very lightly. So now I could see where this part of my M meets. Now we get to start doing our cutoffs. So we can kind of start figuring out, again, get that, the straightness of it, bring it up. I don't know, wherever you want to cut it off, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. Okay, doesn't really matter. But now it matters to where everything else lies. So I know that I got to get this angle here. I'm going to follow it and make sure I meet that guy here. So kind of boom. Kind of cut him off here. Again, it's very important. And this part of the assignment, I really want you to just have fun. Explore a little bit with your name and explore the letter that represents your name. Maybe you don't want to do your first initial. If you're someone like me that finds sometimes your first initial is boring and it's too complicated, you could definitely do any initial that you want. That's okay. That's totally fine. So now, as you can see, I've gotten my M kind of laid out. I'll start go ahead and doing the Sharpie. Again, I don't, just following, just tracing it back up. You don't have to use a Sharpie for this part. You can definitely use a pen, pencil. Color pencil is really nice. I actually did not grab any color pencils from the school when we left because I assumed I could use my daughter's. Well, as you all know, kids lose things, don't they? If you guys are one of them. So I lost all, they're running around the house somewhere. Probably under the couch with the dust bunnies. But again, I'm just darkening those lines here, taking my time. Won't take too long so you guys aren't watching this forever. Darkening my lines and my edges. Now it's starting to look like my M is popping out. Kind of giving it that little effect there. And again, this is all you need to do, and then this would be step 4. Now, if you're like me, right now at this point in time, you're just doing, I don't know, crazy stuff. You maybe want to color this. That's totally fine if you have it available. If not, if you have just a pencil to shade with, we're going to shade sort of the same way as this. Now we have, again, we have the top, we have bottom, we have this, again, the bottom and side. This one, again, we have, it's kind of crazy because I have this M part. So I'm going to shade it, again, think of it as a hallway, right? It's really dark. If this was a hall, this is going to go kind of and then fade lightly, right? When you do perspective, The biggest thing to remember when you're thinking about space and creating the illusion of space, everything that gets closer to the horizon is going to be darker and blurrier. But everything that gets further away from the horizon, so towards the edge of the paper or the bottom of the paper, is going to get lighter. So again, this part is going to be really dark up in here, but as it fades, it's going to go lighter, right? Because it's going to be really dark in here and fade lighter. So again, this is a good one to show. I'm closer to the horizon. I'm going to go dark, and then as it comes towards the edge of my paper, so as I'm going from here, as I'm working my way from here to here, it's going to go dark, and then it's going to fade lightly. Okay, and I'm going to do that again where it fades really dark, closer to the horizon, and then it's going to fade lightly. And again, I'm doing straight up and down. I finally was able to parallel to the paper, so going straight up and down in nice easy strokes. That's a good way to do it. I'm going to keep this kind of light because this is what's facing us, so I'm just going to do a quick little back and forth here. And again, all I'm doing is shading with just a regular pencil. And again, same thing. I'm really close to the horizon, so this needs to be really dark. Right? Really dark here. And then it's going to fade lightly. Okay. And again, I'm going really dark in here. And it's going to fade out. Now this part is really close to the horizon, so this part needs a little bit more shading up in here. So I'm going to kind of shade that a little bit more. This needs to be just a little bit darker. There we go, buddy. And then fade it out. So now it looks as if my M is popping out. Okay, so that is, again, this is step 4. This is all you have to do for me. That is it for the tutorials. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all you are required to do. If you have time to shade at some point in time while you're bored watching Netflix, please shade. I mean, it's definitely, I'm not going to lie, during this time of troubles, like, this is a good way to kind of relax and just kind of shade out some of your stuff that you're feeling today. So, if any of you are, are struggling, this is a good way to kind of get your worries out. So I hope everyone is safe, and talking about that, I hope everyone is safe. Please, if you have any questions or any things that you need to kind of worry about or you don't quite understand, feel free to start all over to the beginning. And again, you don't need to just use a plain piece of paper. You can use not computer paper, I'm sorry. Cardboard inside. If you have like a empty cereal box, cut that inside out and use the inside of the cereal box. If you have any worksheets from science or math that has a blank side to it, rip that out and use that, and use the back of that. Anything that you have is totally fine to use to create art with. It does not need to be the materials that you see in front of you. Well, I hope everyone is safe. My office hours again are from noon to 4, Monday through Friday, and I am always here for you. So if you need me, just shoot me an email or a G-chat. Some of you have been G-chatting me, so that's been absolutely helpful. So thank you so much, guys, and I hope you are all safe. All right, bye-bye.